I never thought I'd be the one to destroy a perfect marriage. But here I am, Sarah Thompson, the villain of my own story. Let me take you back to where it all began. 6 years ago, I married my high school sweetheart, Jack Thompson. He was everything a girl could dream of: smart, caring, and impossibly patient. We had the perfect Instagram life in our cozy Boston suburb. The white picket fence, the golden retriever named Max, and matching Christmas sweaters. I managed social media accounts for big brands, while Jack excelled in tech. We were that couple everyone envied. The ones who still held hands at dinner. The pair who finished each other's sentences. But perfection, as it turns out, is exhausting. It started with small things, really. The way Jack's chewing suddenly irritated me during our Netflix nights. How his coding stories at dinner made my eyes glaze over. The growing silence between us that felt heavier each day. Then I discovered TikTok's polyamory community. Videos about ethical non-monogamy filled my feed. Happy couples talking about freedom, exploration, and modern love. It was like a window opening in a stuffy room. One night, after 2 glasses of wine, I decided to test the waters. "Hey, babe," I said, trying to sound casual as Jack scrolled through Netflix. "Have you ever heard of ethical non-monogamy?" The way his hand froze on the remote should have warned me. But I kept going, drunk on wine and dangerous curiosity. It's fascinating, really. People making their own rules about relationships. Jack's face turned an interesting shade of pale. "Are you serious right now?" he asked, his voice unnaturally calm. I backpedaled immediately, forcing a laugh. "Oh God, no. Just something I saw on TikTok." Crazy, right? But the damage was done. I saw it in the way he watched me after that. The subtle checks of my phone when he thought I wasn't looking. The questions about why I was staying late at work. I should have stopped there. Should have worked harder on my marriage. Instead, I joined CrossFit. That's where I met David. David with his perfect abs and understanding smile. David who listened to my stories without checking his phone. It started innocently enough. Post-workout protein shakes and complaints about sore muscles. Then coffee to discuss fitness goals. Then drinks to discuss, well, everything. I told myself it wasn't cheating if we were just talking. Even when talking turned to texting. Even when texting turned to touching. Even when touching turned to... I'm getting ahead of myself. The real catalyst was Jack's Miami conference. For whole weeks without him. "It's a huge opportunity," he said, packing his laptop. I nodded, already planning in my head. The guilt should have eaten me alive. Instead, I felt light, free, alive. David came over the second night Jack was gone. We drank Jack's expensive bourbon from his favorite glasses. Watched movies on his Versailles TV. I felt reckless and powerful. Then I met Ryan at work. Ryan from marketing, with his witty comments and knowing looks. He understood my world in ways David didn't. Ways Jack never had. Soon, I was juggling 2 secrets. David on Mondays and Wednesdays. Ryan on Friday nights. I became an expert at lies. Working late, honey. Girls' night out. CrossFit competition prep. Jack believed everything during our video calls. Or so I thought. I got cocky, careless. Started inviting them to our house. Used our marital bed. Posted cryptic quotes about freedom on Instagram. Life felt like a high-stakes game, and I was winning. Until that Friday night with Ryan. We were in the kitchen, making pasta and laughing. He was wearing Jack's apron, of all things. The doorbell rang. I froze, sauce-covered spoon in hand. Surprise! Multiple voices shouted from outside. My heart stopped. Through the window, I saw them. All of them. My parents, front and center. Church friends clutching gift bags. Neighbors with balloons. Co-workers holding champagne bottles. And there, in the middle of it all, stood Jack. My husband, who was supposed to be in Miami. Smiling like he'd just won the lottery. Ryan's face went white. Who, what? He stammered. I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. The doorbell rang again. And again. Voices called my name. Sarah. Come out. We're here to celebrate. Ryan looked at me, panic in his eyes. Back door, I whispered. He ran, leaving the pasta to burn. I heard cheers and laughter outside. Someone started singing. My phone buzzed with messages. Mom, honey, open up. Everyone's here. Dad, princess, what a wonderful surprise. Boss, Sarah, your whole team came to celebrate. Celebrate what? My world spinning, I ran upstairs. Past our wedding photos on the wall. Past Max's confused face. Into our walk-in closet. I shut the door and sank to the floor. Through the walls, I heard the front door open. Footsteps. Voices. Confusion. Questions. Where's Sarah? What's burning? Who was that man jumping the fence? Then Jack's voice, clear and loud. Oh, don't worry. She's here somewhere. Probably just surprised by our little party. His footsteps on the stairs. Getting closer. Closer. The closet door opened. Jack stood there, phone in hand. His smile wasn't kind anymore. Hello, Sarah. Time to face the music. I hugged my knees tighter. Tried to make myself smaller. Invisible. But there was nowhere to hide. Not anymore. Jack, I whispered. I can explain. He laughed. Not his usual warm chuckle. Something harder, colder. Oh, you'll explain all right. To everyone downstairs. To your parents. To our friends. To your boss. To everyone who thought we had the perfect marriage. I started to cry. Not pretty tears like in movies. Ugly, mascara-running sobs. Please, I begged. Not like this. He knelt down. His face close to mine. Why not? Isn't this what you wanted? An open marriage? Well, now everything's open. Wide open. Footsteps in the hallway. My mother's voice, worried. Sarah? Honey? Dad's deeper tone. What's going on? Jack stood up, straightening his jacket. Your daughter's having a moment. Maybe we should call someone. More footsteps. More voices. Someone suggested an ambulance. I couldn't stop shaking. Couldn't face them. Couldn't admit what I'd done. So I did what any coward would do. I fainted. Or pretended to. The last thing I heard was Jack's voice. Well, this isn't quite the party I planned. But don't worry, everyone. The show's just beginning. The ambulance ride was mercifully quiet. Mom held my hand, whispering prayers. I kept my eyes closed, still playing unconscious. It was easier than facing reality. The hospital lights were too bright, too exposing. The doctor saw through my act immediately. Panic attack, she said kindly. Common in high-stress situations. If she only knew. Mom stayed, hovering like a worried butterfly. I don't understand, she kept saying. Jack said it was supposed to be a celebration. I remained silent. What could I say? Sorry, Mom, I was sleeping with 2 men? Sorry, I destroyed your perfect daughter image? Sorry, I'm not who you raised me to be? The hospital kept me overnight for observation. Jack didn't visit. Instead, he sent a text. Check Facebook when you're feeling better. My hands shook as I opened the app. There it was. Posted in our neighborhood group. Videos from our security cameras. Me and David. Me and Ryan. Timestamps. Dates. Everything. The comments were already flooding in. OMG. Not the perfect couple. Always knew something was off about her. Poor Jack. Karma's gonna get her. I threw up in the hospital bathroom. Twice. Mom found me there, phone still in hand. Her face said everything. Oh, Sarah. Just 2 words. But they broke me. The truth spilled out between sobs. About the emptiness. The excitement. The lies. She listened, her face growing older with each word. Does Dad know? She nodded slowly. Everyone knows, honey. Jack, he showed them everything. My world wasn't just crumbling. It was being demolished on social media. Live streamed for everyone's entertainment. The next morning, Dad came. He couldn't look at me. We raised you better than this, he said to the wall. I wanted to argue. To defend myself. But what defense was there? The evidence was literally on video. By afternoon, my phone was exploding. Messages from friends. Most expressing disappointment. Some offering support. Many just wanting gossip. My boss called. Take some time off, she said carefully. Until things settle. Translation, don't come back until you're less toxic. I checked Instagram. My perfectly curated feed felt like a joke now. Happy couple photos. Ins. Pyrational quotes. Workout progress shots. All lies. David blocked me on everything. Ryan sent one message. I didn't know you were married. Liar. He'd worn Jack's apron. Drank from Jack's glasses. He knew. Mom took me home. Not to my house with Jack. To my childhood bedroom. Pink walls and old cheerleading trophies. Reminders of when I was the good girl. The perfect daughter. Jack's lawyer contacted me the next day. Divorce papers. Clean and simple. No contest needed with video evidence. I signed everything they put in front of me. What choice did I have? The house went to Jack. Most of our savings too. I didn't fight it. Couldn't fight it. The videos made sure of that. Weeks passed in a blur. I deleted all social media. Couldn't bear the comments. The judgment. The memes. Yes, they made memes about me. My face, captured from security footage. Turned into jokes about cheating wives. About karma. About getting caught. I lost weight. Couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. Mom forced soup into me. Dad still couldn't look at me. My sister called from California. "You've gone viral," she said. "Even my friends here are talking about it." I hung up. Turned off my phone. Stayed in bed for 3 days. The divorce was finalized quickly. Jack's lawyer was efficient. Mine barely tried. How do you defend the indefensible? I didn't attend the final hearing. Signed the papers at my parents' kitchen table. Just like that, 6 years of marriage. Gone. My reputation. Gone. My job. Gone. My friends. Gone. All because I couldn't appreciate what I had. Because I wanted more. Because I got greedy. One night, drunk on cheap wine, I called Jack. He answered, surprisingly. "I'm sorry," I whispered. Meant it with every broken piece of me. "I know," he said. A pause. "But you destroyed us. And I destroyed you back. We're even." Click. Even. Was that what this was? Mutual destruction? I thought about his revenge. The elaborate setup. The perfect timing. The public humiliation. He'd orchestrated everything. While I thought I was so clever. So secretive. He'd watched it all. Recorded it all. Planned it all. In a twisted way, I admired it. The precision. The patience. The perfect execution. He'd turned my betrayal into performance art. Made sure everyone had front row seats. Mom found me laughing hysterically at 3 a.m. Wine bottle empty. Tears streaming. He won, I kept saying. He won everything. She held me until I fell asleep. Like when I was little. Like when problems could be fixed with hugs. But some things can't be fixed. Trust, once broken. Reputation, once shattered. Love, once poisoned. They don't make band-aids for those wounds. Time passed. Slowly. Painfully. I started therapy. Tried to understand why. Why I'd risked everything. Why I'd been so selfish. Why I couldn't be content. The answers weren't pretty. But they were necessary. Like Sir Jerry without anesthesia. Cutting away the rot. Finding the healthy tissue underneath. If there was any left. 6 months after the party, I moved to Seattle. Needed the rain. The distance. The anonymity. Started over with a new job. New apartment. New name, back to Sarah Mitchell. No social media. No dating apps. No CrossFit. Just work and therapy. And rain. Lots of rain. Sometimes I Google my old name. The videos are still out there. The comments. The jokes. But they're buried now. Under newer scandals. Fresher dramas. Time does that. Buries things. My parents visit sometimes. Dad can look at me now. Mom stopped praying quite so much. We don't talk about Boston. Or Jack. Or that night. But it's there. In the silences. In the careful conversations. In the way they check my apartment for signs of men. I got a letter from Ryan last week. He's married now. Wanted to apologize. Said he thinks about that night often. How we ruined lives over pasta. I burned the letter. Watched the ashes swirl in Seattle wind. David never contacted me. Probably for the best. Some bridges should stay burned. I heard Jack's doing well. Through mutual friends who still talk to me. He kept the house. Kept Max. Kept his dignity. Started dating a kindergarten teacher. Good for him. I mean that. Really. My therapist says I'm making progress. Learning to sit with my choices. My mistakes. My shame. She says shame can be productive. If you use it right. Like fertilizer. Feed the new growth. I'm trying. Some days are better than others. I can go hours without thinking about it. About them. About him. About that night. Other days, it's all I think about. The what-ifs. The should-haves. The could-haves. But mostly, I think about consequences. How one choice leads to another. How lies grow like cancer. How truth always finds its way out. Usually in the worst possible way. I dated once since moving here. Nice guy. Software engineer. No wedding ring. I checked. 3 dates in, he Googled me. Found everything. You're that Sarah, he said. Didn't call again. Can't blame him. Who wants damaged goods? Who wants a certified cheater? Who wants someone famous for all the wrong reasons? My new coworkers don't know. I keep to myself. Do my work. Avoid office parties. Decline happy hours. Better safe than viral. Again. Sometimes I dream about that night. The pasta sauce burning. The doorbell ringing. The faces at the window. Jack's smile. In my dreams, I do things differently. Tell the truth when he asks. Work on our marriage. Go to counseling. Stay faithful. But dreams are just dreams. Reality is harder. Messier. Less forgiving. I got a dog. Not a golden retriever. A rescue mutt. One eye. Trust issues. We understand each other. Take long walks in the rain. Both trying to wash away our past. Both failing. Both trying anyway. My therapist says that's growth. Reeing anyway. Even when you know you're stained. Marked. Changed. Last week, I saw a couple fighting at Starbucks. She was on her phone too much. He was getting suspicious. I wanted to warn them. Tell them my story. Show them the end of that road. But who am I to give advice? What right do I have to judge? So I just watched. Silently. Like Jack watched me. Through cameras. Through screens. Planning his revenge. I understand him better now. Why he did it that way. Public. Theatrical. Complete. He needed witnesses. Needed everyone to see. Needed the truth to be undeniable. It worked. God, did it work? Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever love again. Trust again. Be trusted again. My therapist says yes. Time heals. People forgive. Life moves on. Maybe she's right. Maybe someday this will all be a story. A cautionary tale. A lesson learned. But for now, it's still my life. My shame. My consequences. My reality. So I wake up each morning, walk my one-eyed dog, do my job, go to therapy, avoid cameras, and try to remember. Every choice has a price. Every lie, a consequence. Every betrayal, a reckoning. And sometimes, the person you hurt most is yourself. End.